Welcome to Difficult Conversation Africa broadcast. I present to you the host, Yinka Olaito.
This is Difficult Conversation Africa podcast. Today issue is a bit difficult, but like I used to share with you, with our listener, that's why it is difficult conversation. A conversation that many have read to hold and that are very essential. Now, the question is, have you thought about death? Now, I'm not talking about the religious perspective to it. I'm talking about what happened after you have gone. What happened to the people you left behind? Will people be fighting about the little stuff you left behind, the legacy and all of that? What will happen to such things like accounts, your where you want to bury and all of that? And like we used to see, let me start with the background for this. About a decade plus ago, I used to be very angry that I was getting old. Why? Because I felt that I was not actually making progress. I was not achieving what I was here to do, and that my life was in standstill. So I felt that what I was just having was just age and number, nothing more. And therefore, from that time, I got angry. And somehow, along the line, one of my closest, very close childhood friend passed on. And the first thing that came to my mind is that there must be a reason why you are still here. But then, what if you are going? What happened? Do you have anything that you have written down? And this continues. And then maybe in the last 2 weeks again, the thought came to my mind. I asked myself, where's my dad? Where is my mom? They're all grown and they have gone. And I was left with only memory of the two of them. Very fantastic people, couple, they did their best. And then not quite a few after that thought, my daughter and I were sitting down, and she just looked at me and said, "Oh, there are strands of gray hair on your head." And I said, "Should I be shocked or should I be ashamed that I have strand of gray hair, particularly somebody who has crossed the half a century mark already?" And one thing led to another. I was now asking, what happened? Now, that is an issue that we don't want to talk about, but it's something that we will all have to pass through one time or the other. And we are not going to go all together once. I can assure you, we will have to live once in a while. But the fact is, we have seen people dying, and after they have died, quite a lot of raha after them, and quite a lot of fights, people they left behind because there was no written thing. And so I was reading some material 2 days ago, and I saw where somebody say a note that that you must always have handy in case I die. And that struck me. That's true. We should not be afraid of death in order to prepare the ground for what happened after us so that nobody has to fight around what we have. I think it's important to have that note, not because you want to die. I'm not preparing to die now. So let nobody not think that I'm leaving anything behind. I'm leaving a voice of around of my day. I'm not dying now. That is sure. I'm very sure of that. Like everybody will say, but I know I'm not dying now. So I saw that the individual said, you should always have a note in case I die. And she mentioned quite a lot of things that I think that it is essential if we can consider that. She mentioned the number one thing is that you should have a personal note where you have your name, your ID, your full name in case you are bearing another name, your full name, and some of the pseudonym that you might have that people don't know that may be on some document that every other person don't know, and where you are living and where you have been and a lot of things. He also said that out of, in case I die, note, number two thing that should be on it is your bank account details. You should be able to have bank accounts, the bank names, the accounts, the amount in them, how people can access that fund, and who should even access it. That's number two vital thing that this lady put on that in case I died. Note. Number ten say if there's a cash left somewhere, you should have that written down. You don't have to expose this to everybody, but I think it is essential that you put it down. Then number three thing that she said is investment portfolios. What are the investment portfolios that you have? Where do you have it? Do you have property? That we've seen cases where other people took over the properties of a man or a woman after she or he had died because none of the family members has an idea that the individual have property or investment somewhere. And we've seen where bank are actually hitting some of this because bank will not come and meet you or something and all that. So your investment portfolio is very important. Write it down. Where do you have it? Your property document, where is it? Your cooperative schemes, and all contact of persons that are actually important to those investments so that they can actually find out for you. Insurance. I know most people don't even have insurance. It's quite, particularly in our climate in Nigeria and Africa, we don't normally run a lot of insurance and all of that. But I think that South Africa is developing in that area where you have burial insurance, what should be spent and all that. Your insurance, if you have a life insurance, please put it in that in case I die note. Your personal pension detail and all of that. It doesn't have to be for everybody to read. It's something that you should have very handy somewhere. Maybe you even keep in a cloud or something. Your debt and obligation. If you are owing people, put it in those places so that people can access it. Oh, I'm owing so this amount I'm owing. This is the reason why I'm owing for it. Or but if you don't want to put a lot of detail, if you have a debt profile, put it with a bank, with an individual or something. Put it. It's make it easier for people around you and people that are that you are left behind. The ongoing financial commitment that you have and all of that. Okay, your digital life, what happened to it? Do you want people to close it? Your digital life, what happened? Because people are already talking about digital life and all of that. What happened? Your email accounts, your social media preferences. Do you want people to close it down, shut it down, or to allow it to go? You can state that what you want, if you want them deleted, it doesn't matter. Then dependent and responsibilities spell out the number of children you have, the number of people that you are taking care, and you should say if they actually want to, if people want to continue, they should continue. Your your school children information, the care information, trusted guardian, addresses that you want to take over those things. Don't just assume. These are also important. Legal document, your will, your trust. Some people are afraid to write will. Your trust, and investment, power of attorney. If you have that, this is really important. A personal note also to how you want to be buried. It may sound small. Write a short letter. Who to call first, particularly if you are not living with your family. Who should they call first? And in case anything happen and all of that, who should they call? Who should they call? Who should people call first? Particularly those who are living in different country, different environment where this folder is kept. That's another thing. That's why most people don't want to. You can have a folder on the cloud and locked it, or you can have it somewhere that at least one trusted person will know where the folder is kept and how to access it. This is really important. So planning for death is not just for you alone. It's for people that will survive you and what happens after you. Yes, we know that for Christian, we say, okay, we are going to heaven and all of that. But what happens with those who are not going to heaven or that are still here? So that alone is already a reason why you must plan for that. In fact, it's better to live our life like if this is the last day, and then to live and have plan as if you are going to be here for hundreds of years. So for you as an individual, my conclusion is: are you prepared that for death? I'm not saying you are going to die now. You know, this is difficult conversation. I'm only saying that are you prepared for death? How are you preparing for death? Who should even prepare for death? I also believe that the moment somebody say, when should I start preparing for death? The moment you are able to make money, you are able to have investment, whether you are married or not, and you know that there are a lot of content creators at a teenage year that are making quite a lot of money now. The moment you already have money in your account, property, and all of that, it is important for you to start preparing for that, have in case I die notes and all of that. Especially if you are married. By the time you get to that age, whether you need to have something in case I die. Well, I know somebody will say, I'm a father that does not have anything. What do I just write something down? At least some of these areas are really important. And more importantly, please think about it. For those who think that death is not coming, you are living a healthy life. But please don't forget that it is good to have a case note or a note somewhere in case you die. It's really important. We will all live long. But what happens if we live before the time? See you in the next edition. Please let me know what you think about this. Should we prepare for death? How? At what age? See you in the next edition. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode. For inquiry, please send an email to info@difficultconversationafrica.org. Telephone 0809 3160591. Please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Difficult Conversation Africa. See you soon.